Hello, my name is Frank, and this is my 100th video on YouTube. My wife told me to hold up to make this particular video the 100th video because 100 has a special significance in the Chinese culture, being a symbol of perfection and completeness. And this is a continuation of my video on my niece's graduation from Duke University. Quite an achievement. The CEO of Cisco Corporation, John Chambers, gave the commencement address. And since he became head of Cisco, like a couple of decades ago, the revenue has increased from $1.4 billion to over $40 billion. Quite an achievement. So, and I've interspersed some of the Duke band music in this particular video, so that should make it much more entertaining. So sit back and enjoy, and thanks for looking, and have a good day. situation, Agnes. It's a good sized crowd today, it looks like.
Agnes from the Sanford School of Public Policy.
There should be balloons.
to the SARS epidemic in 2003, coordinating efforts in clinical care, safety, and public education in a terrifying, unprecedented, and rapidly evolving health crisis. Professor Tom, in you, Duke recognizes a hero of global health. In addition, a decade ago, when Singapore imagined remaking itself into a global center of biomedical sciences, Tan Chor Chuan was a major figure in Singapore's biomedical sciences initiative. Its ideas have found concrete expression as Singapore has developed world-class capacities in clinical research and the discovery and manufacture of pharmaceuticals. This initiative has demonstrated the powerful contribution that research universities can make to their national economies and to the world, and it has also demonstrated the essential role of international partnerships, especially partnerships with Duke, in the process. In recognition of your distinguished medical career, your achievements in putting knowledge to the service of society, and your pioneering work in international collaborations, Duke is proud to award you, Professor Tan Chor Chuan, the degree of Doctor of Science.
Sponsor to escort the candidate to the podium.
John Chambers has said the two great equalizers in life are the internet and education, and he's passionate about the power of both to change our lives. John Chambers is the leader in an industry that scarcely existed when he was in school. He anticipated how one-time novelties would become the necessities both for the global economy and for each of our individual everyday lives. We are relying on John Chambers' work when we least expect it. Cisco, the company he's headed for 2 decades, provides unified networks for computing and communication in all its dimensions. Mr. Chambers' own networks extend to education and development initiatives around the globe. When Cisco had a mere 200 employees, it now has 73,000. Cisco formed a partnership to share innovative technology with the elementary school next door. More recently, Cisco established a public-private partnership to provide innovative healthcare and education support after the devastating Sichuan earthquake in 2008, and he led similar efforts in this country in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. For his long career making business success the basis for public service around the globe, he won the State Department's top Social Responsibility Award, and he was honored to be the first person ever elected to receive the Global Citizen Award, presented in his case by President Bill Clinton. John, Duke also claims you as one of us. John Chambers got an early exposure to the potential of technology when he matriculated for a year at Duke's Engineering School, now known as the Pratt School of Engineering. More recently, he's returned to establish a fellowship for graduate students in Pratt and to share his vision for connected learning in the 21st century. Students around the world pursuing the cross-continent MBA program in Duke's Fuqua School rely on Cisco platforms to create virtual working groups and collaborate on projects, allowing them to interact in richer, more complicated ways and preparing them for productive lives in a globally connected world. In recognition of your leadership in technological innovation and its capacity to serve society, Duke is pleased to honor John Chambers with the degree of Doctor of Science.
The hardest presentation you ever give is a commencement address. And the only thing that adds additional pressure to that is, Mike, I was told if it rained and thunder showers occur, we were both going to be canceled. And rather than give a speech, I'd like to just have a conversation. I'm going to start by thanking, for all of us in honorary degrees, President Broadhead for your leadership. Rick Wagner, thank you very much. Dean Shepherd, thank you very much. Tom, Victor, you all have an amazing faculty here. I want to start with the parents. All of us are so proud of our graduates. I had 3 degrees, 9 years in college. I'm sure my parents were very happy to see me finally graduate. And my wife and I, Elaine, had a fair amount of debt rolled up at the same time. But for the parents here, I want to express to each one of you as students how proud we are of you. There's no way to express it other than say we love you, we know how hard it was, and we know you're going to be very successful in life. As I was running across campus yesterday, and I'd forgotten about the humidity here, I was sweating just something terrible. And as I passed by each one of you all, I'd say congratulations. And all of a sudden I could see you just smile, the pride bubble up inside of you, and your parents behind the scenes just so happy for you. My parents were both doctors. And remember, that was 60 years ago, and that was very unusual. They taught me from the very beginning, the first equalizer in life was education. They drilled it into my head and my two sisters' heads that it was all about education, and that's how I ended up at Duke. I learned when I went to work at Cisco, the second equalizer in life is the internet, and I'll talk shortly about that. But the way that this school prepares you is like Mike said earlier, and President Broadhead said earlier, it is unequal to any other spot in the world. Over the last years, you've been through tremendous change. Both economically, came in, it was in great shape, then we slowed down, now we're picking back up. It's been tremendous watching how the terrible disasters occurred around the world, and yet how this university responded to those, both the students and otherwise. As a basketball nut, watching your women's and your men's team in the national championship was amazing, because I went to school, an MBA school with Coach K out at Indiana, and watching them progress. I've also watched a university that, unlike most successful organizations in the world, knows how to change. Most of the time, whether it's a company or a university or an individual who's been very successful, that's the hardest one to change. And yet you watch this university change in terms of innovation, the way they use technology, bring the engineering school and the business school and the med school together, and become truly what I believe will be the first global university in education. And I'm not talking about distance learning. But today, rather than give a speech, I want to talk maybe about 10 or 11 ideas to share with you. And if I'm